Expert advice: the primary task of rejuvenating the Northeast is to promote manufacturing transformation and upgrading. Economic Information Daily. The participating experts conducted an in-depth discussion on accelerating the new situation of opening up an all-round rejuvenation in Northeast China. Many experts have suggested that the transformation and upgrading of the manufacturing industry be an important goal, thus building a modern economic system and fostering new momentum for economic development. Emerging emergencies such as economic growth, declining investment and declining fiscal revenue have put Northeast China under greater pressure and have formed the so-called Northeast phenomenon. The report of the 19th National Congress of the CPC put forward the implementation of the strategy of regional coordinated development. Among them, it is clearly proposed to deepen the reform and speed up the rejuvenation of Northeast old industrial bases. Most of the comparative advantage industries in Northeast China are traditional industries, of which industrial energy and raw material industries have the most advantages. However, the comparative advantage industries in Northeast China rank lower and the market size is relatively small. In the future, we must combine structural adjustment with the development of the private economy, transformation of government functions and overcoming institutional mechanisms to short-term supply-side structural reforms and long-term industrial restructuring in order to find a breakthrough in the rejuvenation of Northeast old industries. Miao Changxing, Director of the SME Development and Promotion Center of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, pointed out, to further support the development of private economy and the non-public economy, efforts should be made to solve the problem of financing for financing difficulties, improve the service system for SMEs and further reduce the burden on enterprises. However, due to the relatively backward economic transformation, the advantages of manufacturing industries in Northeast China are far from being brought into play and the transformation and upgrading of manufacturing industry are facing severe challenges. As a result, the pressure on growth in Northeast China has also increased. In the future, we need to take manufacturing transformation and upgrading as an important goal, speed up the reform process, and speed up the process of opening to the outside world so as to form the general environment for the economic transformation and upgrading of the Northeast.